أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يسهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. My dear audiences, friends, brothers and sisters, and those who are watching through Facebook, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great pleasure for me to attend this Tafsirul Mahfil. So at the very beginning, at the commencement of this Tafsirul Mahfil, I would like to express my deep gratitude to Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala by saying, Alhamdulillah, all praises are only for Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Inshallah, in today's Tafsirul Mahfil, we shall have a discussion on verse number 179 of Suratul Ayat. So at first, as usual, we shall go to the recitation as well as meaning of verse number, ayat number 179 of Suratul Ayat. Then inshallah, we shall go to the at first recitation and meaning, then inshallah we shall go to the elaborate discussion. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولقد ذرأنا لجهنم كثيرا من الجن والإنس لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها ولهم أعين لا يبصرون بها ولهم آذان لا يسمعون بها أولئك كالأنعام بل هم أضل أولئك هم الغافلون صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك. I seek refuge, I seek shelter to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the accursed devil, from the accursed shaitan, and I am beginning with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is most merciful, most beneficent. وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. I have made the fire, the hell, for most of the people as well as jinn. لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They have hearts, but they do not understand with their hearts. وَلَهُمْ أَعْيَانٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا. They have eyes, but they do not see with their eyes. وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. They have ears, but they cannot hear with the ears. أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. They are as like as four-footed animals. Sometimes they are more than the animals. They are more misguided than the animals. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. They are the unaware. They are not aware. They are careless. Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said the truth, and His prophets and messengers have also said the truth, and we are among the witnesses. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the greatest. O Allah, bless your servant and prophet, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This was the recitation as well as meaning of ayat number, verse number 179 of Suratul A'raf. In this verse number 179, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly stating, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly declaring that most of the people as well as jinn will be thrown in the fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created innumerous, countless creatures. We cannot count down. We cannot fix the number of creatures of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the only Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who knows the total number of His creatures. Among the creatures of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we, the people, are one of the creatures, as well as the jinn. They are also one of the creatures. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stated in many where in the Holy Qur'an regarding the people as well as jinn. We are the people, the men, we are the creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And another creature is jinn. Jinn means not visible. We have been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the earth, by the soil. And jinn, they have been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the fire. And the jinn were created before us, before the Adam. And the difference in between the man and jinn is that we are visible and jinn are not visible. But they are also one of the creatures of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in this verse number 179 of Suratul that most of the people, most of the men, most of the persons, as well as most of the jinns will be thrown in the fire. Why? The reason is being described here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and here it is necessary to be mentioned here that among the creatures of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is the only man and jinn, these two creatures, who have been given free will by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Suppose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created a creature and it is the angels. Angels have been created by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the light, by the nur of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And angels are nothing but a creature of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the angels have not been given free will. We, the man, as well as the jinn, have been given free will. And no other creature has been given free will. And since man and jinn have been given free will by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether we shall go to the right way or the wrong way, it is upon us. We shall decide. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us free will. And for this reason, many people as well as many jinn are most misguided. Most misguided in the sense that most of the people as well as jinn, they are very far away from the main teachings of Islam, from the main lesson of Islam, from the main substance of Islam. What is the main teachings? What is the substance of Islam? The main teachings, the substance of Islam is oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At-Tawheed. Tawheed is the main teaching of Islam. Tawheed means oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ma at-Tawheedu. What is Tawheed? At-Tawheedu imanun bi-ilahi wahid. Tawheed means bringing faith on only one creator, and he is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Being a Muslim, being an actual believer of Islam, we must have belief that our creator, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is only one. He does not have, he is only one. He does not have any partner. He does not have any son. He does not have any daughter. He does not have any wife. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having son. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having daughter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having any partner. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having any wife. And we the people and the jinn, we have been born in this world. One day we shall meet death. That means one day we shall die. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not born and he will never die. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of taking birth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of meeting death. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not born and he will never die. He is eternal. And most of the people as well as jinn, they are very much misguided regarding oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regarding Tawheed of Islam, and hence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها. They have hearts, but they do not understand with their hearts. وَلَهُمْ أَعْيَانٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا. They have eyes, but they do not see with their eyes. وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. They have ears, but they cannot hear with their ears. And lastly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comparing those people, those jinns, with four-footed animal. أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. They are as like as four-footed animal. Even they are most misguided. They are more misguided than the four-footed animal. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. They are very much unaware regarding oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, in this verse 179 of Suratul Araf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is declaring those people who do not believe on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as four-footed animal. Those who have not yet accepted Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has compared them with the blind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has compared them with the deaf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has compared them with the people of not understanding. Now inshallah, we shall go with some other ayat of other surah in the Holy Quran. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. First relevant ayat in today's tafsir is ayat number 18 of Suratul Baqarah. In ayat number 18 Suratul Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, ثُمٌّ بُكْمٌ عُمْيٌ فَهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. Here, this ayat number 18 of Suratul Baqarah has been revealed regarding the hypocrites, munafiq. We know there is a group of people in Islam who pretend that they have accepted Islam. Although they accept Islam verbally, but they deny Islam from their heart. These kinds of people have been introduced with us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran as the munafiq, that is hypocrites. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comparing the hypocrites, comparing the non-believers of Islam with the deaf, with the dumb and the blind. And with the blind. Summun bukmun umyun fahum la yarji'un. Next relevant ayat in today's tafsir is ayat number 64 of Suratul Araf. In ayat number 64 of Suratul Araf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, فَكَذَّبُوهُ فَأَنْجَيْنَاهُ وَالَّذِينَ مَعَهُ فِي الْفُلْكِ وَأَغْرَقْنَا الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا قَوْمًا عَمِينَ. As we know, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam, he was one of the prophets of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we know, while Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam was at the age of 40, he was made prophet of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam at the age of 40 became prophet of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he started to invite people towards the oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 950 years. Allahu Akbar. About 950 years, this long period, he invited people towards the Tawheed, towards the invitation of oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what was the result of his long invitation? the result was that in Tafsir it has come that only 72 and some Mufassirin has said that 82 people accepted the Islam. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam to build a boat, a ship, and as per direction of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam made a boat, made a ship, and the believers of Islam, all the believers of Islam got on the ship, and as we know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished the people of the world of that time by giving flood. Due to heavy rainfall as well as due to water from the ground level, the whole world was flooded and all the non-believers of Islam were destroyed. Only 72 or 82 people who were on the ship with Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam, they were saved. And hence Allah is saying here that فَكَذَّبُوهُ فَأَنْجَيْنَاهُ وَالَّذِينَ مَعَهُ فِي الْفُلْكِ. The community of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam rejected the invitation of Tawheed, and Allah is saying, I have saved him as well as his followers who were on the boat, and rest of the people were drowned in the water because of not believing in Islam, because of not accepting the invitation of Tawheed. And Allah is comparing the people, the community of Nuh alayhi salam, who rejected the invitation of Tawheed with the blind person. إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا قَوْمًا عَمِينَ. So, from this Tafsirul Mahfil, I would like to convey a message to the people of the world who have not yet accepted Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comparing the non-believers of Islam with the blind men. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comparing the non-believers of Islam with the deaf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comparing the non-believers of Islam with the deaf. So this was verse number 46 of Suratul relevant in today's tafsir. Next relevant ayah in today's tafsir is verse number 19 of Suratul. In verse number 19 of Suratul, Allah is saying, أَفَمَنْ يَعْلَمُ أَنَّمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ الْحَقُّ كَمَنْ هُوَ أَعْمَى إِنَّمَا يَتَذَكَّرُ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. Allah is saying that who knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means who have accepted Islam, whether he and those who have not accepted Islam are similar. Answer is no. That means the people who have accepted Islam, who have accepted the invitation of Tawheed, that means the Muslims and the non-Muslims are not equal. And here the non-Muslims have been compared as blind men. إِنَّمَا يَتَذَكَّرُ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. And the invitation of Tawheed will only be accepted by those who are wise, who have got actual lesson of Islam. They will accept the invitation of Tawheed, and no one will accept the invitation of Tawheed. Next relevant ayah in today's tafsir is verse number 124 to 126 of Suratul. In verse 124 to 26 of Suratul Toha, Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is saying, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى قَالَ رَبِّ لِمَا حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى وَقَدْ كُنْتَ بَصِيرًا قَالَ كَذَلِكَ أَتَتْكَ آيَاتُنَا فَنَسِيتُهَا وَكَذَلِكَ الْيَوْمَ تُنْسَى. And these ayat are regarding those who after embracing Islam have forgotten Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. There are many people surrounding us. Their name is Abdul Rahim, Abdul Karim, Abdul Quddus. By name they are Muslims, but in their activities they are as like as the non-believers of Islam. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is saying here that who will forget me? That means who after accepting Islam will not follow the rules and regulations of Islam. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is saying on the day of judgment, after death, they will be revived as blind men. And when they will be revived as blind men, قَالَ رَبِّ لِمَا حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى وَقَدْ كُنْتَ بَصِيرًا. They will say to Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Oh Allah, in the life of dunya, we were men of eyes. We used to see everything. Why you have made us blind in the life of hereafter? That means, if we are men of eyes, we are watching everything in this world, but if we forget about Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, if we do not follow the rules and regulations of Islam, on the day of judgment we will be revived as blind. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will answer our question. قَالَ كَذَلِكَ أَتَتْكَ آيَاتُنَا فَنَسِيتَهَا. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will say, Oh my servant, in the life of dunya, I revealed, I sent revelation. That means here now the Qur'an. I sent this Holy Qur'an to my Holy Prophet, and you do not accepted the Holy Qur'an. That means if after accepting Islam we do not follow the rules and regulations of Islam, if we do not follow the rules and regulations of the Holy Qur'an, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is saying that we shall be revived in the life of hereafter as blind. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will say, since you forgot me in the life of the dunya, وَكَذَلِكَ الْيَوْمَ تُنْسَى. Today I have forgotten you. So, we the Muslims, we desire the heaven in the life of hereafter. But if we desire the heaven in the life of hereafter, every one of the Muslims want to be admitted in the paradise, in the Jannah, in the heaven. But in order to be admitted in the heaven, in the paradise by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, it is our utmost duty, it is our foremost duty that the last revelation of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will have to be followed by us in the life of here. If we do not implement the rules and regulations of this Holy Quran in the life of here, on the day of judgment we will be in danger. And one of the danger is that on the day of judgment we will be revived as a blind man. Next relevant verse. This was verse number 124 125 and 126 of Suratul Toha. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 46 of Suratul Hajj. In verse number 46 Suratul Hajj, Almighty Allah is saying, أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَتَكُونَ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ يَعْقِلُونَ بِهَا أَوْ آذَانٌ يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا فَإِنَّهَا لَا تَعْمَى الْأَبْصَارُ وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبُ الَّتِي فِي الصُّدُورِ. Here Allah SWT is saying more clearly, O people of the world, if you travel the world, you will find many people, they have hearts to understand, they have eyes, ears to hear, and they have eyes to see, but they do not see, and they have become blind. And Allah SWT is saying, in fact, their hearts have been blind. That means, if a person, although he has been given eyesight to see, he has been given ear to hear, he has been given hearts to understand, till then, if he does not accept Islam, Allah SWT is saying, he is not blind, in fact, his heart is blind. That means, if anyone do not accept Islam, although he has found all the proof that Islam is the actual religion, Islam is the religion of Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and still then, they do not accept Islam. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is comparing them with the blind man, with the blind of heart. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is comparing their hearts with the blind. So this was verse number 46 of Suratul Hajj. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 40 of Suratul Zukhruf. In verse number 40 of Suratul Zukhruf, Almighty Allah is saying, أَفَأَنْتَ تُسْمِعُ الصُّمَّ أَوْ تَهْدِي الْعُمْيَ وَمَنْ كَانَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Allah SWT is telling His Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad, O Prophet, you are inviting the people towards the Islam, but they will never accept Islam because a deaf cannot hear your invitation. And those who are misguided, they will not follow the right way. Here in this verse number 40 of Suratul Zukhruf, Almighty Allah is comparing the non-believer of Islam most misguided. And Allah is comparing them with the deaf. If a deaf person is being called by you, by us, he cannot hear because he is deaf, he cannot hear anything. As like as the deaf, the non-believer of Islam are not entering in Islam, although they are finding all the proof that Islam is the actual religion of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, till then they are not accepting Islam. That means they are most misguided. And last relevant ayat in today's tafsir is ayat number 5 of Suratul Jumu'ah. In ayat number 5 Suratul Jumu'ah, Almighty Allah is saying, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ حُمِّلُوا التَّوْرَاةَ ثُمَّ لَمْ يَحْمِلُوهَا كَمَثَلِ الْحِمَارِ يَحْمِلُ أَسْفَارًا بِئْسَ مَثَلُ الْقَوْمِ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And this ayat karima, this respected ayat of ayat number 5 of Surah Al-Jumu'ah has been revealed in respect of the Jews, the Yehudi. as we know, in order to guide the Jews, the Yehudi, Almighty Allah revealed the Torah upon Musa al-Islam. But the Jews, they did not follow the rules and regulations of Torah. And Allah has compared them with the ass, with the donkey. Suppose a donkey used to carry goods from one place to another on his back, but the donkey does not know what is on his back. And the non-believer and the Jews, since they did not follow the rules and regulations of Torah, they have been compared with the donkey, with the ass. And now from this Ayat Karima, Ayat number 5 of Suratul Jumu'ah, if the Muslims, after accepting Islam, do not follow the rules and regulations of this Holy Quran, he will be as like as the donkey. And if a person denies the rules and regulations of the Holy Quran and Sahih Hadith, he will be the donkey mentioned in Ayat number 5 of Suratul Jumu'ah. Being a true believer of Islam, it is our utmost duty, it is our foremost duty to follow the rules and regulations of Quran and Sahih Hadith completely. If a person denies Quran and Sahih Hadith, he will be out of Islam. And it is very much unfortunate to say by me here that there is a group of Muslims in our society. Their name is Abdul Rahim, Abdul Karim, Abdul Quddus. They are denying the Sahih Hadith. They used to say that we follow the only Holy Quran. They are denying the Sahih Hadith. Quran and Sahih Hadith. Sahih Hadith is the explanation of the Holy Quran. There are many things. Suppose Allah SWT has asked us to offer prayers, and we used to offer 5 times prayer as per direction of our beloved Prophet by Sahih Hadith. Suppose Almighty Allah has asked us, Allah SWT has told us to pay zakat. And how much zakat shall we pay? We used to pay 2.5% of zakat from our assets. We have find this 2.5% from Sahih Hadith. So there are many things of Islam we are getting from Sahih Hadith. So a true Muslim cannot deny Sahih Hadith. So as an actual believer of Islam, it is our utmost duty, it is our foremost duty to follow the rules and regulations of Holy Quran and Sahih Hadith completely. Now inshallah, we shall go with some Sahih Hadith. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. And last ayat, I would like to refer here. In today's tafsir, it is also relevant. Ayat number 138 of Suratul Al Imran. In 138 of Suratul Al Imran, Almighty Allah is saying, هَذَا بَيَانٌ لِلنَّاسِ وَهُدًى وَمَوْعِظَةٌ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. As I said, this Holy Quran, this is the last revelation from Almighty Allah. Allah has given the definition of this book in ayat number 138 of Suratul Al Imran by saying, هَذَا بَيَانٌ لِلنَّاسِ وَهُدًى وَمَوْعِظَةٌ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And this Holy Quran, it is the complete explanation. It is the right way. It is the lessons for the actual believer of Islam, for the muttaqi. As we know, now we are passing the holy month of Ramadan. the holy month of fasting. And in verse 183 of Suratul Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. The fasting has been made mandatory upon us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as it was made mandatory to the earlier followers, earlier prophets. And the reason of making fasting mandatory is so that we may earn piety, we may earn fearless for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, muttaqi. So, this Holy Quran, it is the guideline for an actual believer of Islam. How shall we lead our personal life? How shall we lead our family life? How shall we lead our social life? How shall we lead our state life, national life? Everything is being explained here in this book, as well as Sahih Hadith. So, being a true believer of Islam, it is our utmost duty, it is our foremost duty, it is mandatory as well as obligatory to us to follow the rules and regulations of Holy Quran and Sahih Hadith in all respects of our life, in all fields of our life. Now, inshallah, we shall go with some Sahih Hadith. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. First Sahih Hadith in today's tafsir is An Usman radhiyallahu anhu, Ani Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala, khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allama. Rawahu Bukhari, At-Tirmizi, Sunan Nasai, Abu Dawud. In 4 famous book of hadith, this hadith has been recorded, and this hadith has been narrated by third Khalifa, Hazrat Usman radhiyallahu anhu. He is saying that our beloved Prophet has said, among you, he is the best who learns the Holy Quran and who teaches the Holy Quran to others. Allahu Akbar. So, learning Quran by ourselves and then taking effort to spread the teachings of Islam to others is the best job. Rawahu Bukhari, At-Tirmizi, Sunan Nasai, Abu Dawud. Next relevant hadith is An Ibn Abbas radhiyallahu anhu qala qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam innal ladhi laysa fi jawfihi shay'un min al-Qur'an kal baytil kharib. Rawahu Tirmizi. Hazrat Ibn Abbas radhiyallahu anhu has narrated this hadith. He said that our beloved Prophet has said, he who does not have anything of Quran in his heart, his heart is as like as an abandoned house. As you know, in the abandoned house, no one dare to enter. They think that the abandoned house is controlled by the ghost. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, our beloved Prophet is saying, the person in whose heart there is no Quran, it is as like as an abandoned house. Rawahu Sahih At-Tirmizi. Next relevant hadith in today's tafsir is An Sa'd ibn Ubadah radhiyallahu anhu qala qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ma min imrin yaqra'u al-Qur'ana thumma yansahu illa laqiya Allah yawm al-qiyamati ajjam. Rawahu Abu Dawud. Hazrat Sa'd ibn Ubadah has narrated this hadith, and he said that our beloved Prophet has said, who after learning Quran has forgotten the Holy Quran? Suppose you have been in the early age, you learned how to recite the Holy Quran, but now because of non-practice you have forgotten to read out the Quran. Our beloved Prophet is saying, if a person learns to recite the Quran and subsequently he forgets it on the day of judgment, he will be revived without some parts of his body. Rawahu Abu Dawud. So, it is our utmost duty, foremost duty to learn the Holy Quran, and after learning the Holy Quran, we must practice it regularly. It is a saying in our society, practice makes a man perfect. Yes, after learning the Quran, after learning to recite the Quran, we must practice it regularly. If we do not practice it regularly, one day we shall forget it. And if we forget the Holy Quran, and if we die at that position on the day of judgment, we will be revived without some parts of our body. Next relevant ayat in today's tafsir is An Ali radhiyallahu anhu qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam man qara al-Qur'ana fastazharahu fa ahallallahu halalahu wa harrama haramahu udkhila al-jannata rawahu at-Tirmidhi. This hadith has been narrated by Hazrat Ali radhiyallahu anhu, the fourth Khalifa of Islam. He is saying that our beloved Prophet has said, who has learned the Holy Quran, and after learning the Holy Quran, who accepted the halal as halal, and who give up the haram, since these are harams, he will be entered in the heaven. He will be entered in the paradise. That means, when we shall learn the Holy Quran, after learning the Holy Quran, we must follow the rules and regulations of the Holy Quran and Sahih Hadith in our personal life, in our family life, in our social life, as well as in our national life. And if we do this, inshallah, on the day of judgment, we will be admitted in the heaven. Rawahu at-Tirmidhi. And last hadith in today's tafsir is relevant hadith. An Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam laysa minna man lam yatawanna bil Qur'an. Rawahu Sahih al-Bukhari. Earlier hadith was Rawahu at-Tirmidhi, and this hadith is Rawahu al-Bukhari. This hadith has been narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. He is saying that our beloved Prophet has said, those who do not know how to recite the Holy Quran properly, he is not among our society. That means he or she is not the actual Muslim. That means, being a Muslim, it is our utmost duty, it is our foremost duty, it is mandatory as well as obligatory on our part to learn how to recite the Quran properly. But it is a matter of great regret. Most of the Muslims of our society do not know how to recite the Holy Quran properly. Their recitation, their pronunciation is not correct. It is very much unfortunate for us. Now, inshallah, so we are passing now the month of Holy Ramadan, the month of fasting, and as we know, in this holy month of fasting, holy month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed this Holy Quran. So, it is the high time for us, it is the right time to us to try to learn the Holy Quran. How to recite the Holy Quran properly, it is the right time. So, in this month, we shall take initiative, we shall take efforts to learn to recite the Holy Quran properly, and to learn to know the meanings and explanation of the Holy Quran properly. And after learning the Holy Quran, we must try to implement the rules and regulations of the Holy Quran in our life, in all fields of our life. Now, inshallah, we shall pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before offering prayer, let us recite durood upon our beloved Prophet. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام، ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب هب لي من الصالحين. رب زدني علما. أستغفر الله. اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. Wallah, some of your servants have been gathered here in this Tafsirul Mahfil. We have discussed from your Holy Qur'an and Sahih Hadith of your Messenger. We have made many mistakes. Please forgive our all mistakes and accept this Tafsirul Mahfil. Oh Allah, increase our sustenance. Oh Allah, you know what is in our hearts. Please fulfill all the good desires of our heart. Oh Allah, my youngest daughter, Sayyida Aisha Parvez, is seriously ill. Please give her fully and early recovery. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.